Rhode Islanders have always gone to sea. Narragansett Bay has 420 miles of coastline. From here, you can sail south to Bermuda, a 3 or 4 day sail. That opens up the southern colonies, the Caribbean, Africa, trade with the Far East. From the early 1600s, that has been Rhode Island's lifeblood. In 1663, King Charles II gave Rhode Island a charter, which gave us a tremendous amount of freedom. We could elect our own governor. We could elect our own General Assembly. We could determine our own future. As time went on, things started to change. By 1760s, England, having a war with France called in the colonies the French and Indian War, well, there were debts to be paid off, and King George III needed to find a source of revenue. Started putting trade restrictions and taxes on goods in the colonies, who we could trade with, where we could go, and having to pay taxes on goods that we had risked our lives for. This didn't go over well with Rhode Islanders, so we tended to ignore these laws. By January of 1772, the Crown had had enough. They put a revenue schooner, a ship whose purpose was to stop ships and make sure they had paid their taxes. This ship was called the Gaspee. Its job was to take these ships and make sure that the king's laws were being enforced. One of the first things that Rhode Island did was the governor demanded that Captain Duddingston of the Gaspee present his papers because it was illegal for a Royal Navy ship to operate within the territorial waters of any part of Great Britain without first presenting their papers to the local government. Captain Duddingston refused, said he was working from a higher authority. So Rhode Islanders treated Captain Duddingston hostilely. In June of 1772, Duddingston ran the Gaspee aground on a sandbar at Namquit Point. News got to Providence, and the leading citizens of the town, not a mob, but the people that owned houses, that had families, that had been earning their living by going to sea, assembled at Sabin's Tavern and debated, first of all, what they were going to do. Here was an opportunity, but could they take this? Would this not be treason? When the course was defined, then they planned on how they were going to do this, because attacking a Royal Navy ship was a dangerous job. They had all had experience as privateers. So they got into 8 longboats, rowed down to Namquit Point from Providence, in single file went at the bow of the ship, took the Gaspee, shot Captain Duddingston, and took the crew off the ship, along with the captain, landed them on shore, and in the process the Gaspee caught fire. The fire got to the powder magazine, and the boat was blown to smithereens. These were the people of Rhode Island. There was no Coast Guard to take action for them. There was no militia to stand in the way of hostility. They were the people that lived here, the homeowners, the families that took action for themselves to protect, as they saw it, their rights.